Hey Living Springs, time for Thursday's Thoughtful Thought. We're starting a new series this month called Keeping Your Peace in the Storm. And today we're examining our social media feeds. Did you hear they're combining three of the major social media platforms into one convenient place? They're combining YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. And they're going to call the new feed You Twit Face. But I digress. We're looking at our social media today because it's something that can so often in our life go unexamined. And I don't think there should be anything in our life that goes so unexamined. We're regularly trying to keep up with the news, what's going on, and keep in touch with everything that's taking place. So many new pieces of information, even trying to just be entertained and keep up with relationships that are right now and maybe always were at a distance. And not any one of those things is bad in and of itself, but we continue to try to get more and more and more, thinking enough information or entertainment will please us. Author James Early said this. He said, "We for our sake tried to become limitless and the world was ruined. Jesus for our sake became limited and the world was saved." And I think we're so often caught in this idea of trying to become unlimited in the amount of knowledge, information, entertainment we can gather, and hope then we'll get to a place of happiness and contentment. We spend so much time trying to keep up with the news, with the relationships, with all those things, that sometimes we forget to be present in the moment. I think of a sermon I heard at Christmas time by Lonnie Lacey. It was called What You Hold. And she was talking about the idea of holding a baby. You have to be present when holding a baby and there in the moment. She was using the idea of Jesus being born, and these shepherds come in and they have these tools, their staffs, in their hands. In order to hold a baby, you've got to put that down. The judge has to put down his gavel to hold a baby, or the accountant has to put down their calculator, or whatever it may be. We have to put down those things to hold what is most important. And I think our social media feeds can be the same. We click like or subscribe or follow to so many different things that in the moment seem so great. But at other times, they continually just feed us these things that we think we want to know, and we actually aren't holding on to what's most important. We also may not just be missing out on the moment, we may be hardening our own hearts. In 1996, the internet was barely around. An MIT researcher, Marshall Van Asselin, and Eric, I'm not even going to try, but they said, looking ahead to where the internet was going, they said individuals empowered to screen out material that does not conform to their existing preferences may form virtual cliques, insulate themselves from opposing points of view, and reinforce their biases. Internet users can seek out interactions with like-minded individuals who have similar values and thus become less likely to trust important decisions to people whose values differ from their own. Now, that's scarily accurate, seeing as how it was 24 years ago that they predicted that. And we can be hardening our hearts to the causes, to the issues that are facing people outside of our own realm. We get caught in this echo chamber of hearing and seeing and viewing only what we already agree with. It's scary to think millennials are estimated to use about 61% of millennials are getting all of their news information simply from social media. Now, before you go and chastise millennials, you should know that baby boomers actually use one more hour of social media a day than millennials. We're all caught in this. No matter what age or anything, we're all caught in that. And we can be hardening our hearts by just getting caught in what the algorithms are feeding us, what it thinks we will like. We can be ignoring the things that are causing harm and causing distress to those outside of our own circles and our own demographic. We want to be able to hear the stories of the marginalized, the oppressed, the hurting, the broken. We want to be able to be with those that are in our lives instead of just stuck behind a screen. So we can be hardening our heart the more time we spend on social media, and if we don't examine what we're following, what we're watching, what we're listening to, and what we're being entertained by. The book of Joshua has a striking account. Children of Israel were about to go fight against Jericho. Joshua neared the city, and there was a man standing before him with his drawn sword in hand. And Joshua went to him and said, "Are you for us, or are you against us?" This seemed like a logical question if you're a warrior, perhaps sent by God. Whose side are you on? The man's answer was classic. No. But I am the commander of the army of the Lord. Now I have come. We can often want to just be with those who are on our side and who are for us and not against us and all those pieces, and I get that. That is comfortable. But we have to examine what we're looking at, what we're taking in, what we're aligning ourselves with, to make sure it's in line with what God wants for us. Clicking an unfollow button or unsubscribe or turning the whole thing off for a little bit, I think can be really healthy and allow us to realign ourselves, to soften our hearts again, and to imagine and examine what is most important, following along with God. I love that warrior and that angel's response. Are you for us or against us? No, I'm here for God. And I think we need to make sure we're doing the same. There's a passage in Philippians 4, 8, and 9. It says, "Finally, brothers, whatever things are true, whatever things are honorable, whatever things are right, whatever things are pure, whatever things are pleasing, whatever things are commendable, if there's any excellence of character, and if anything praiseworthy, think about these things. And the things which you have learned and received and heard and seen in me, practice these things, and the God of peace will be with you." So often my social media feed can be full of the complete opposite of those things. And I begin to get stuck in these echo chambers and my ideas and my ways of thinking and even just distracted from what's going on in life. This command in Philippians is for us to focus on what is most important. And then when we do that, the God of peace will be with us. There's a direct correlation between the use of social media with both anxiety and depression. We're constantly just pulling in more information without really knowing what to do with it. We're constantly comparing our lives to those of the world against us. Maybe it's not just news. Maybe it's kind of trying to keep up with the crafts or activities and biking and exercise of the people we see on social media and wondering how they can even have the time. We need to sometimes just pull back, examine what we're looking at, examine whether it falls in honorable, right, pure, pleasing, commendable, excellence of character. Are these the things that we're giving our attention to? And if not, it might be time to hit that unfollow, unsubscribe, and just turn off the thing for a little bit. But this has been our Thursday Thoughtful Thoughts. I hope you'll sit back and examine your social media and maybe take some time between now and next Thursday. We have our next Thursday's Thoughtful Thought for you to ponder. Thanks for tuning in.